So, my good people, it's Tuesday morning, the day after Monday Night Raw, and let me talk about this. You saw the thumbnail. I was earlier yesterday live on TikTok with some guys. Now, the group of people that I chat with, the guy that the person's channel, there's 3 different channels. Sometimes I'll just go on with them if they see my name up there, especially they'll come on, jump in, games, jump in. So anyway, they're not into this LOL, I want to see a company out of business bullshit. They're just basically like they just basically talk about professional wrestling. Now, it just so happens these guys, they love AEW, and they all feel like WWE sucks right now. Okay, I feel that way as well. But for the most part, when we're on there, that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about wrestling. So we'll talk about something wrestling-wise. It doesn't mean that we like it or not. We're just talking about what happened. We're talking about the NWA. And I said this is what we should do. Talk about wrestling in general and not just, one company. And then, especially if you're going to call yourselves a wrestling show, you only talk about one company, right? So, anyways, you always have these people come on there. It's like they look for dirt. They look to find something to complain about. They look for something to say, look what happened to them, right? So what happens is they got all of these guys coming in the comment section, making fools out of themselves, just saying things, and we asked them, where'd you get this information from? Well, it's on. I said, give us the site name, and everybody go, okay. It says nothing about what you're talking about. In fact, even the site names that they say a lot of times don't even exist. They just make up shit to come on there to make an argument for the WWE. This is what they are. They just foolish, like idiot fanboys that don't understand anything. So what happens? Once again, this guy made a comment about how, this is the same guy. He said, Jade Cargill is over here wrestling at WrestleMania, sellout crowds, and Megan Bain is over there fighting in half-empty arenas in the AEW. And I said, you're not even informed with legit information. And that half-empty arena shit, that was solved by AEW realizing it's not wise to keep getting these 15,000, 16,000 seat arenas if we're putting 5,000 to 6,000 people in there or whatever, right? It makes no sense. Like I said, TNA went through that before. Hell, WWE went through it before, and they're having these issues now. Here's the deal. They lie to you guys. And this is what the thing about you WWE fans that just make me laugh, man. And it's like you guys don't mind being a fucking joke. You don't mind being a clown. You don't mind being a bunch of R-Truths. You don't care about being laughed at. First of all, every company, every type of genre goes through this type of stuff. The struggles are real, man, because you got to remember, you got something. You think people are just going to watch a show until the day they die. No, man, some people just outgrow certain things and they just lose interest, and that's what happens. You lose old fans, you gain new fans, and how rapidly it happens, it's not guaranteed. We don't know what happens. Companies do go out of business, things happen. But let's put it to you like this. The arena that the WWE were in last night in Green Bay holds over 10,000 people. Okay? They were 4,277 people short, or 227, something like that, 227 short, or whatever it was, 4,227, I think it was. Okay? So, yeah, notice how they didn't pan the building, how they always sell out crowd tonight, this and this. They will lie and tell you it's a sellout crowd as well. They had a little over 6,000. They had over 6,272 or some shit like whatever it was, they're short. Okay, way short, 1,000 short. And you notice anytime, I don't care what company it is, when they only show you one side of the building, it's for 2 reasons. One, either that other side is like half empty, or the majority of people on this side, then they have like that small section, because some of the buildings are made that way. So the ring, and they do it like that, so the ring is set up to where there's people surrounding the arena. Instead of, it looks weird to me sometimes when the setup is like one side of the ring is just facing the ramp, but there's nobody at the rails there. It just kind of looks weird, but I mean, hell, you know what I mean? They have the big screen, so the people who, you know, sitting way back, if they're outside of the ring and they can't really see what's going on, they can see it on the big screen. But anyways, the WWE didn't pan that crowd the way they normally do, because they know that building was half empty. Now, this same thing just happened at Money in the Bank, where they had a half empty building. And the building that they used was the building that they had their debut of Raw on Netflix. And they said that was a sellout crowd, right? Well, that one surely wasn't at Money in the Bank. Now, here we are at Monday Night Raw, and the same thing happens again. So when you see a decline in ratings, you're going to see a decline at live shows as well at some point. So it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to sell out any more buildings. It just means there's going to be buildings where you don't have a complete sellout. And to be perfectly honest with you, you know, like I said, for you guys that make up this shit and want to try to put, you know, stains on the company, it pisses you off, because yesterday we got confirmation that, well, actually the post I think was put up last week, or Friday or something like that, or whatever it was. But I posted it yesterday, last night I think, where, you know, AEW, their tomorrow night's event in Mexico is completely sold out. And that arena has a capacity of over 16,000. Now, my whole thing with all of this is really simple. You can have a sellout crowd of 16,000 this week. Next week, your show might have 6,000. Following week might have 8,000. Following week might have 6,000. Following week might have... You're not going to always have a sellout crowd. Even if the majority of the calendar year, your live events like, you know, Raw, SmackDown, you know, Dynamite, Collision, you know, you might have a sellout crowd the majority of the times, but there's going to be times that shit just happens. Okay, this is why I say after Double or Nothing, when Bully Ray come up with that bullshit talking about it's now's the time for AEW. Like, what the fuck are you waiting for, Bully Ray? This is what you all do wrong. You're waiting to see ratings and all of a sudden, because we had another banger of a show, they've been doing nothing but giving you banger fucking pay-per-views as well. And it's same with their collisions and Dynamite, but yet it's always a thing. You think that because you have a one night where something just is like, it's a magical night, all of a sudden your very next live show, for some reason you're just gonna 20,000 people show. Like, no, man, it's a build up over time. And the problem that we have is, like I said, when it comes to professional wrestling, is people pick and choose sides. Let's just be real. The NFL have no rivals. Okay, the Big Three isn't a rival to the NBA. I'm not going to call it an extension. I don't even know if the Big Three is still a thing. Okay, but I haven't watched it in a long ass time. But it's for fun, and it's no threat to the NBA. And that's not what Ice Cube. That's not what the intentions was, for it to be a threat to the NBA. But there's no rival for NHL. There's no rival for Major League Baseball. You understand what I mean? But in professional wrestling, any company that does well, get a major TV deal and things of that nature, okay, they're a threat. They're competition. That it for whatever stupid reason, people take it like that, instead of, hey man, I salute them. No, because, man, if they get it going, they can put you out of business. But this is the way you guys think. That old slave mentality, that old master mentality, that old we have to go to war, it can only be one bullshit mentality. And then you start looking desperate. See, the bully always looks for pity when they can't bully another company. So tell me why the WWE was in a fucking half-empty fucking building. Tell me why they couldn't get 10,000 people in there. Why couldn't they do it? And this is my point. A company that's been around for 6 fucking years versus a company that's been around for like, what, 50 fucking years or whatever already? And you guys are not understanding, like, there's going to be growing pains in every company. Triple H, any of these people, they're sitting there going, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Why can't we, why is this happening to us? Why? Hey, man, I told you. They need to focus on giving their fans the best product they can. No, it's like all we want to do is make money. Let's put out some bullshit. And if we're pressed to do something a little bit different, like if you took CM Punk out the picture, if you took Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and found 4 other people to replace them with to do the same exact shit with, that's not going to change anything. That's the problem. It's the product. And people are going, shit's stale. But you WWE retards are sitting there going, oh no, I love it. Okay, no. And you're not retarded because you love it. Okay? What you're retarded for is you think that trying to bash AEW is going to make WWE look any better. So when you ha, LOL, yeah, Jade Cargill is wrestling in front of sellout crowds. What about last night? I mean, she wasn't there. But so what? What happened? What happened at Money in the Bank? And the WWE sit here and lie and tell you in front of a sold-out crowd. No, it's not a sellout fucking crowd. They said that shit at Money in the Bank. Yeah. You see all these empty fucking seats. I know also that there was times in the past different companies had did things like they had some type of show, and so they don't get embarrassed, they'll have like somebody, Mr. Deep Pockets, who they'll buy the remaining tickets. So on paper it was a sellout crowd. Who the fuck buys tickets and not come to the show? We saw those empty goddamn seats. Okay, so when we see things like that, for me, I just feel like, hey man, you know what? I'm not going to stress myself out trying to explain shit to people, because we do all this for fun anyway. None of this is like, hey, we're angry. I don't care what you feel about AEW or any other company, but, we do grown-up talk over here. So when you start saying shit, just make sure you're telling the truth. And especially when we can all pull up the facts and see. So now let's look at some of the things that happened last night. I'll start off with Bayley because I like Bayley. And I'll say this about Bayley. Bayley is solid in the ring. Okay? She's never at no point in time been good at promos. I said I think Bayley needs a makeover. Back when she was younger and she'd come in waving her arms and had those little balloon things, whatever you call them, right? And the kids thought it was fun, and people, would sit there waving their arms from side to side with her and all of that. That character is gone. And I feel like for Bayley, I don't think you need to make her a dark character, but I feel like the less she says, and she should just get to the bullet points, have less talking. She should have a character of being a phenomenal wrestler, man, and have a character to where that's her focus and her goal. They call her the role model, right? So the less that she say, the better. I have ideas, but those are my ideas. I can sit here and give you some details of what I mean with this character. Like, I do this a lot of times. It's the same way like when I sit and play a goddamn video game. When I create people that's not already like a real actual person that I'd sit and picture this person in the ring and like type of characters, like certain facial expressions you make, the way you move, the way you stand, and how you react to certain, like that. All of this stuff plays a part. And what happens with Bayley is, character-wise, like Josh Alexander said something, the last interview I saw him on, when he talked about coming to AEW. He said AEW is a much better fit for him. He said because he loves professional wrestling. He said he loved their style of storytelling, and the talent that they have on that roster is second to none. And he also said the fact that he can be himself. He said, my character is not the type of character that, he's not like when you look at Sting, especially the younger Sting or the Undertaker or Papa Shango or somebody, or like certain people just have a look to themselves. Ultimate Warrior, Lex Luger. I mean, Kamala. Somebody just has a look that stands out in a different way. His look is not, something that's gonna really get people going, wow, this guy, it's what he can do in the ring. So Bailey's in that position of she's a solid wrestler in the ring, but character-wise, Bailey, like her voice, uh, and the way she approach, you know, how she approach her opponents. Like she's example, you sound like an idiot. Do you hear yourself right now? You're so insecure, man. And they sound like two women on the talk show arguing over a guy or something. Like, you know what I mean? It's not something that's going to captivate people. So how do we take her character and hide her flaws? It's really simple. You create a character for her, help her to create a character or whatever, and like this is what we need you to do now, and let her come into that character. When the actors and actresses do a movie, well, people are delusional and superstitious as well. But you have some people that play a role so good. You ever heard people go, I can't stand it. Oh, when I was watching him, like when we watched Samuel and Django, people was like, man, fuck that motherfucker. And here's the funny thing, right? They respond like they forget he's acting. Why? Because he's tapping into something that really fucks us up in real life. And he's playing that character that we don't like. Just in the way he played it was like, wow. You know, like this motherfucker probably really like that. Like people that's the type of shit that people do. So what do we give Bailey? With that she can what can we give her that she can project to the people that like I said, I have my ideas, but I don't get paid to be giving these motherfuckers ideas. You know, but bottom line is like, man, you have to help develop these characters, man. WWE believe in their own hype to the point where once these people leave, like, you know, um, how you help these motherfuckers to get on their feet, it's not about AEW or anybody else being competition to them. That has nothing to do with it. That's the bullshit y'all been. Oh yeah, man, they love competition. See, the better AEW does, the better they do. Bullshit. One thing that these wrestlers need to stop doing is glazing the WWE. Like example, when they let you go. If I'm in that position, and let's just say, for example, I'm let go. Now somebody's going, hey man, what do you think about going to AEW? And I say, oh, absolutely. I plan on reaching out to Tony Khan or however, whatever, and, you know, make something happen. See what we can do there. I definitely want to go to AEW, right? Now imagine, well, you know, at some point, I figure, you know, at some point you want to go back to WWE, and instead of going, oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love WWE. I love my stint there, and I got a lot of friends there. And it doesn't matter if you say that shit or not. They're gonna want you back just because they see you in AEW. Whether you shine in AEW or not, they just want you back. Now, if you go to TNA or NWA and you're not really shining, that might be something different because that's just what they do. But especially because TNA, AEW appeals to a wider audience than TNA and these other companies. So yeah, they want you regardless. You don't get a Jade Cargill there and then go, oh, she's very green. She's still learning. But you put her on the main roster and put her in a tag team situation with Bianca. Like, then whose fault was that then? Bullshit. They didn't use her right either. And they've been giving her this diva vibe. They're like a bunch of little kids, bunch of overgrown little kids, man. So yeah, you have to work with them. And you have to be able to, like, stop glazing these people. I would say, if you ask me that question, oh, so I know at some point you want to go back to WWE. I would respond like, listen, I did what I did in the WWE. Right now, my focus is what I'm doing. Okay, I was let go, right? So my focus can't be what's going to happen later in the WWE. It's right here and now. And right now, my focus is what I'm going to do for me and my family, because I'm the only one that's going to have my best interests in mind. So I need to, you know, see what's going to work out for me, and that's my focus. I'm not thinking about the WWE. Did they I give a fuck about Triple H getting upset or whoever? Fuck them. I go to AEW and I shine when my contract is up. Guess what? Yeah, man, it's Trips. Yeah, Big Sniffer. Yeah, I was wondering, man, if you... This is what they want. Okay, this is what they do. All right, you done went and shined. We let you go. Cool. And even if you ask for your release, like Swerve asking for his, different people that want, they still try to get back with them. Anytime a company is willing to pay you top dollar, but don't even use you right, even keep you off TV at times, but they're paying you top dollar, right? Do you want to just, I mean, unless you're lazy as fuck, because more than likely you're like, man, look, I came here to wrestle, man. I came here to, what's going on, right? You want to be on TV. You want to be in these pay-per-views and all. So, you have to let them know, because without the WWE, without the wrestlers, there is no WWE, there is no AEW, there's no TNA. So instead of sitting here trying to make the WWE feel like, hey man, you're the only company that matters, why don't you put that energy into going, you know what, fuck this, I have to do what I have to do for me. And when they see that wrestlers they know that AEW is a huge option. There's no step down. It's a huge option, especially when you're gonna go there and still gonna make top dollar. Then that should make them go, okay, we got to use people better. We got to give a better product. Why? Because we're trying to grow our audience. We're trying to, keep you. There's no such thing as you do 10 things and you get here and you just stay there. Man, sometimes you got to eliminate some of those 10 things, bring other things into there. You got to scramble things, recycle things. You just have to know how to stay afloat. And it's like you guys think every fucking fan that goes to these shows, like I said, is going to be a fan until the day that they drop dead. There's always going to be people that stop watching something. And the way that they're doing things now, like I told you, it's a new way. It's just a new day. Now, Nick Aldis did something that I felt was necessary. Remember I told you guys, him and Adam Pearce both, they get so sick to their stomach. I'm so sick of this. You guys keep coming at each other and this and that. Okay, you and you, WrestleMania, right? And the crowd cheers it. Okay. And I'm saying, you as the GM, you guys put the matches together. You guys, wouldn't the fuck you want to put this guy versus this guy? You don't understand why this person is after this person. You're just so sick and tired of it. So what you do? Just put wrestler's name in the bowl and whatever 2 names you pull out, that's who's going to wrestle. You see how he handled it last night with Bailey, and he's telling her, like, you were done wrong, you were attacked, and anybody owes a title shot is you, so you will get your title shot at Becky at whatever, right? Okay, this is what I'm saying. That's how you address this shit, man. Sitting there acting like you're pissed off because 2 people want to wrestle. What the fuck do you think they're in your company for, right? And that always made no sense to me. Imagine Canelo and Terrence Crawford wanting to fight, and the pros going, I'm so sick of this shit, man. Every time I turn around, Crawford, you're talking about Canelo. Canelo, you're talking about Crawford. So fuck it. 3 months from now, you guys are going to headline the paper. Like, wouldn't you want to do that? So, yeah, it makes no sense the way they do these stupid little things. And so when you hear Triple H say stories don't have to make sense, yeah, he's not lying to you. That's how they really feel. That's why they just give you whatever bullshit. I guess they think because you get to see some booty cheeks and some skin and a bunch of sweaty people flying around the ring, that's enough, man. No. But, yeah, you have to be more creative. And like I said, I like Bailey, and if Bailey was to leave the WWE and came to AEW, like I said, I feel like she needs a makeover even in WWE. The crowd is lukewarm to her, man. Look, Becky Lynch even used it in a storyline. She said, when I attacked you and I came out at WrestleMania, she said, nobody gave a damn about you. They cheered me. She got a lukewarm response. She didn't get the type of cheer like Alexa Bliss got, like somebody who's been gone and people miss you and they're happy to see. She didn't get that kind of reception. But she's using that. And whenever the heel does that and they're saying, these people don't give a damn about you and how they cheered me, they're trying. That's their attempt to make you cheer for that person, to make you care about that person. Bailey just don't have that type of presence, man. She just don't have presence. She don't. She lacks presence. This is what makes me laugh when I hear you guys try to talk shit about certain AEW guys saying that they don't do stuff. I mean, no, you guys can't. Listen, bro. Bailey always lacked presence. And you know what's funny? Bailey included. Cora Jade, several different wrestlers I've heard from WWE say, You know, we know Cora Jade is no longer there, but regardless, I've heard several people say I love AEW storylines and the freedom that they have. And so it's funny how you WWE fans love to say they have no stories, which is bullshit. They don't have those little childish stories that you guys like. For example, why does Alexa Bliss feel the need, not Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, I have a man, and like she's making fun because we know the situation with Nikki Bella, okay, whatever. And that, ooh, like what are you guys, like 12, man? This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, for all of you that jumped out of your seat for that shit, I'm just watching it. Do you know what it feels like to have gold? And this is all of these different things that they say to each other. That and Bailey's telling her, come here. She's telling, Becky, and Becky's all backing off. Then she slaps her and just gets knocked on her ass again. Like, I mean, that was just so weak. That segment was weak as hell. It was very weak. And Nikki Bella, and Liv Morgan, that was a weak segment as well. And she leaves the ring. She gets so pissed off at what Liv says, and she runs in there and gets slammed in the face. And it was just nothing happening. That was exciting. The 4-way match with the big fat guy. LA Knight. All these people get involved. Braun Breaker. You know what? I just feel like their focus on moments and trying to just get a pop out the crowd, everything that they do is more like, it's not the match itself. This is why you WWE fans are so against wrestling. This is what makes me laugh when you call something a good match. Like, did you even hear the beginning? What was the guy name? The commentator, he's been there for a long time. I forget his fucking name. But he sat there and said, when he referenced the match between Jey Uso and Gunther, he goes, last week's match between Gunther and Jey Uso was an absolute classic. Was it? Was it? You think Jey Uso versus Gunther was a classic? So what standards of professional wrestling are we going by? I mean, it's subjective, it's your opinion, but that was a classic? Well, shit, man. No wonder you guys don't like AEW, because them motherfuckers going in and put work in for real. I mean, what kills me, this move that Stephanie Vickier does. Man, Victoria's done that shit. I've seen Sonny Kiss has done that shit. I mean, we Mickey James, what's the chick from the Beautiful People? I mean, so many people we see where she just wraps her legs on you and then slam your face up and down with that. Like, and I don't understand these recycled moves like they've been done. I mean, DDP was the first person I ever saw do the diamond cutter. Okay, so you call it, Randy calls it the RKO. Somebody else, whoever does it, just add their name to it. It's the same fucking move. And I just don't understand what's so incredible about that move. But, little things like that. In terms of the matches themselves, you WWE fans that keep saying shit like, I don't care about the fucking match. Big deal. Tell me a story. Okay. Then why the fuck do you even comment on if the match was good or not? If you're going to say you don't care about the fucking match. Tell me a story. These stories are garbage. Like, who are they writing this shit for? Nikki Bella is in her fucking 40s at least or something. I mean, she's much older than Liv Morgan. All of them just sound like a bunch of little kids. Ha ha ha, nah, just arguing like little kids at a school playground or something. I have yet to hear any real grown-up dialogue, man. If we were talking about a bunch of kids wrestling, then, I guess that, what would I expect then, right? These are grown adults. I have a man. Ha 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 ha. Like, bitch. This is what I'm saying. You guys are this is the type of shit they're doing. Who wants to come out and see this shit every week? And you gotta remember, the difference with the NFL and all these other sports is that they have time off. Wrestling is all year round, which is supposed to be a plus for wrestling fans. But you guys who get so picky with every little thing, every little detail of everything, man, this is every week, man. Okay, so from week to week, how hard they want to work on putting stories together. I'm saying, what do you want, man? Like, I mean, it's like you want movie scripts. Movies come out, they make movies that take years sometimes to make a movie. You guys want movie script type of storylines? Like, nah, man. It's weird, man. It's really weird. But I will say, there's so much to do when it comes to anything. Look at the amount of people that do live streams. Are you more concerned, like if you're a content creator, are you more concerned about making your own money or worried about making these other companies rich because you keep tuning in or buying tickets and going to all these places or whatever, right? Because these people out here monetizing their channels. So between TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube or whatever, like people out here, everybody's not so focused on watching anything particular. Like example, I can't tell you the last time I watched a full football game or full basketball game. I lost interest. You understand what I mean? But the NBA lost 53% of its audience. And the NFL numbers had dipped as well. So there's nothing that's just concrete, is automatic. Even if you got companies that will stay around for decades and decades and decades. Okay, let's say I go to my grave. I won't know if the WWE or AEW or whoever is still here or not, right? Let's say if they're still here, then I go, right? Any of us, we don't know. So we're gone. So how long a company's going to last, we don't know. But we have this forever and ever in our head stuff. Like everything's always going to just be the same. And no, man, businesses, things happen, they go up and down. And so there's different reasons why people don't watch certain things. But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's nothing AEW can do or WWE can do that they're going to, or NFL, or boxing or anything else for that matter, that automatically is just bow. They're in there and they're going to always be here. They're always going to have the same exact rating. Like now you guys are just being foolish. No, I don't think there's nothing that they can do that automatically everything is just going to just, wrestling is just at an all-time high. And wrestling, no, there's going to be ups and downs. They're going to have better years than others. That's just the way it is. Now, as far as you being to the point where your stories are consistent, the wrestling is consistent, it's in a lot of ways, it's like a team. Think about it. You can like a football team and that team can suck year after year after year. Then they can actually have a good year where they're really doing well and they only lost to the best teams and okay, they just didn't make it, but they could have had one of those games where, hey, if they make this field goal, they win, or something like that. But bottom line is you like the team and you keep watching. For me personally, I'm not a fan of anybody's. I just like what I like. But I'm not walking around with a damn shirt on with somebody's fucking name on my damn neck or back. I'm a grown ass man. The fuck I'm walking around with Joe Montana's fucking name on my back for? That's not me. I'm not the guy that's gonna go to a WWE or AEW event standing holding a replica belt here and holding it up. Like I'm not into all that shit. I'm not the guy that's gonna stand in a group of people outside bare chested with fucking a letter on my chest to spell out the fucking Raiders name or some goofy shit like that. That's just not what I do. Now, that all being said, right? When ratings dip, we already know WWE fans, they only want to talk when the AEW's ratings aren't the same, or if they don't have the biggest crowd. No, but when it happens to the WWE, they don't want to. And this is why I do what I do. And last night, I made this guy look really stupid because when I checked back in, and they were on, his ass was in there in the comments, and I said to him, how come WWE couldn't sell 10,000 plus tickets? How come they only distributed over 6,000? Well, where'd you get that? I'll post it for you. And everybody was talking about it. And then, know what he did? He hung up the phone. He didn't want to talk anymore. Checkmate, bitch. This is exactly what I'm saying. It's like that hatred gets you nothing. And I'll say it again. You can bash AEW all year long. It's not making the WWE's product any better. So my point is when you can see it, ha ha, LOL, they had 6,000 people at their show. Yeah, but that's how many people the building held. WWE has over 6,000 people at their show, and the building held over 10,000. Big difference, isn't it? Yeah. So does it make any sense for any company, as I said, to get a building that holds much more than the amount of people that you're pulling in? This is where people are too foolish to understand this. So, ego, man. You type of people that will see a pair of fucking pants that cost 40 fucking bucks, but you rather pay 120 for the same fucking pair of pants. It's the same exact material, identical, same thing, same exact shit, same quality, everything. You just feel better because you paid more. How foolish can you be? Yeah, I mean, there was nothing that happened on Raw last night, man, that made me feel anything, man, anything. I'm convinced LA Knight is nothing but a character. These people, they don't see him as championship material. I've been convinced of that a long time ago. He's just a gimmick that can wrestle, but they, for whatever reason, don't care. Braun Breaker does nothing but come out. He barely fucking wrestles. He just comes out with this enforcer bullshit, gets involved in the match, make all these stupid faces and shaking his head around like he's some psychopath, but he barely wrestles. When the fuck is Io Sky gonna wrestle? I just sit here and I wonder, do you WWE fans pay attention to this type of stuff on your own? She's won the belt, but what does she do with it? All she does is come out and cut a fucking 10-second promo and get the crowd buzzing. You notice they use the Japanese wrestlers all the same way. They always yell out something and try to get the crowd into it. Asuka looked so out of shape last night. She looked like Asuka was breathing so heavy. She's so out of shape, man. You can see it. I know she just had a surgery in her knee. Well, she's been out for a while. But she was so out of shape. You see how she was breathing at the end of that match? She was, even with her promo, she's yelling out whatever, and then nobody ready for Asuka. It's like she's about to vomit or something. I'm like, is she okay? She was really, and I'm just like, okay. So Asuka's back. She wins. All right, cool. They see nothing in Ivy now except for a nice body, eye candy. They see nothing in her. Raquel Rodriguez, I don't really understand. I don't understand their booking. I don't understand how you get certain people on your roster. Like the commentators would talk about a wrestler like he or she is the baddest thing on the roster, man. But look at the way they're being used. So therefore, for me, I'm not a fool, man. And I know that when you're not using people properly, there's reasons for that, right? Now, whether those reasons make sense or not, I would just say this. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, that's being said about these people is showing in the ring. So what makes me laugh is how a person like Jonathan Coachman says Bayley's irrelevant, she's boring, and I do admit she does need a makeover. She's solid in the ring, again, like I said, but she does need a makeover. She has no presence at all, man. And like she's saying, I'm a Hall of Famer and this and that, but she just, it's like anybody that's saying these lines just sounds stupid. None of them, really get my interest and make me want to watch the show. Rhea Ripley comes out, she gets involved, and she stands there for like 3 minutes just waving, smile, like she eliminates Raquel. I get it. She paid her back for calls it distracting her the other week. I get all that. But there's just nothing that was going on that I even cared about, man. Like nothing. This is just where they are right now, and yeah. Is there anything else even worth talking about? Goldberg comes to the ring. You see the way fucking Goldberg is limping and shit? it's his left leg. You can see that she's walking to the ring, but he has this low gimp and shit. And then I read something a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, and I even I don't know if it was Wrestle Talk or one of these shows, but they were saying that it's been rumored that, not even rumored, it was saying that basically, they didn't use the word rumor, but they were basically saying that, people were saying that Goldberg is struggling with his training for his comeback match. So Goldberg comes in the ring. He gets a nice little ovation. And of course, there Goldberg. And he starts talking about he came out here to celebrate Gunther's win. That Gunther's very good in the ring and all that. And he yeah, it's cool, man. It's all good. It's all good. And then he walks up on him and says, but you started something with me in Atlanta and my family. And he said, I'm going to finish in Atlanta. And he tells him at whatever the event is, you're all Saturday night's main event. You're mine. Because you're next. And it was just so dry, man. And I'm watching him hobble around that ring. And I'm just like, man, Goldberg, when listen, he was one of the main reasons that I was watching any wrestling at all. When Goldberg came around, it was like, all right, yeah, this is different. But I mean, throughout the years, like I said, it's times you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him, man. And Goldberg, do you think at his age he's going to be a better wrestler than he ever was before? Or he's going to be a better performer in any type of way? No, he won't. And when you have this so-called passing of the torch match, he's going to pass it off to Gunther? Like Gunther's going to beat Goldberg? All right, man. Jey Uso got his win last night, and he pretty much just, yeah, it was just one of those shows. Anyway, now that you've seen an episode of Monday Night Raw, which they're not going to tell you, they're going to, the fact that they sit and lie to you guys and tell you they have a sellout crowd when it's not a sellout crowd is amazing to me how you guys just accept these lies. But you want to make up stories and make lies up to try to assassinate anything AEW does. And I'm going to keep putting up this fight for the truth. Because it's like, it's so crazy, man. Yeah. We know if AEW was in a building that had 10,000 plus, that held 10,000 plus, and they had 6,000 something people there, you guys, oh yeah, they didn't sell out. Now, I don't personally care about that. I don't personally care about the ratings. I care about me enjoying the product that's given. But you guys love to come up with this, these lies and fabricating what the WWE does, and you want to pretend you didn't realize that they didn't have that building filled out. Well, if you didn't know, yeah, now you know. And the fact that, like I said, they did not pan that crowd like they normally do, because they know they didn't fill that building out. So what do you got to say about that? Why were they only able to draw a little over 6,000 people? The almighty big bad WWE, huh? How come they couldn't do it? Yeah. Once again, if this is basketball, WWE gets to play in a 10-foot hoop regulation. AEW has to play in a 15-foot hoop, but supposed to get the same or even more results in terms of the attention and the growth in people and, whatever. Yeah. Let's put all these high expectations on AEW, but let's just, hey, man, WWE can do no wrong. Not on my watch. So that's what they drew last night. A little over 6,000. And the building that held over 10,000. But I'm pretty sure you fools have some type of self-made dumbass excuse, which nobody cares about. But in reality, like I said, there's always going to be growing pains in every company. And with all the things going on that are supposedly going on between The Rock and Triple H and everything else and whoever else is involved, and then, when you ever work for anywhere where there's like big names, like, bottom line, fuck big names. You could work at a hospital You have a group of people, this doctor and this nurse and these particular people here have their little group, and they don't really get along with these people and all this kind of shit. They try to get somebody transferred off their floor because they don't, all kinds of little stupid shit. So whatever's going on within the WWE that's preventing them from maybe doing their best work, I don't blame it on that. I just think that they suck. I just feel like what their mindset is as to what they think the fans want or what they want to give you is just different from what it was. It's a different WWE. It definitely is. And I think that a lot of you don't want to accept that or admit that. So when you look at the John Cena's of the world that's on his way out, when you look at guys like Roman Reigns who's part-timers, and you look at the younger guys and women that's in there now, and you're going, yeah, but this person and that person, everybody you're naming, there's someone here that's already been there 10 years, 20 years, 15 years. So this is my point. You guys are looking at them and not realizing it's a different day and time, man. That's what it is. Simple. So, yeah, just another episode of Raw. Nothing special happened. But hey, man, and this is what I'm saying. This is just the norm now for them. But since you guys like to bring up stats and all, yeah, I figured, you know what? So let me keep it a buck with you all. Because for you guys who sit up here and make up this shit, I don't have to do that. I never fabricate shit. And like I said, we like what we like. But when you point the finger at one, I'm going to point the finger at the other. Simply because there's never double standard with you guys. And you're too immature. And just completely stupid to understand. This is going to happen. It's just that when it happens to AEW, see, they're going out of business. See, they, look, the PBC, right? I read an article yesterday that the PBC they don't plan on renewing the contract for the PBC. Okay. So it's basically due to PBC not being able to deliver like the minimum number of pay-per-views, buy rates and all that shit. And they feel like the UFC is a better fit. That's the hot ticket. So they want the UFC. They already have one fighting championships on there, and they want the UFC. Now, UFC may be able to deliver what they want, or they may not. But they don't want to renew their contracts. Now, check this out. This is the 12th platform that has severed ties with the PBC. So when the PBC remind me a lot of the WWE when it comes to boxing, because the PBC, everybody was, the PBC this, they got all the welterweights, they got all the best fighters, they're like a league to themselves. And they were trying to make all the money for themselves, for their own fighters. They were trying to keep all the fighters that fought each other in-house. They didn't want to do cross promotions, like they didn't want to do business with Matchroom, ESPN, Top Rank, or whatever. No, they wanted to do everything on their own. They were telling fighters, come over here, sign with us just this one fight, because they want to make all the money. And then, they didn't give a fuck about how these other fighters are going to eat and feed themselves and take care of their family. So now the PBC find themselves, once again, after May, trying to find another home. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So no different from anybody else. A whole lot of you guys are saying they need to put SmackDown on Netflix. And I know why most of you are saying it, especially when the audience has dipped, because you feel like, damn, AEW got Dynamite and Collision on Max. How come WWE only has Raw on Netflix? Don't know and I don't care. But yeah, it's always a comparison. Well, they're doing this, so they should do that. Well, that person is doing this, and this company's doing that. Well, however it goes, we'll see. I really don't care. What happens, happens. And you guys know that the CW, as far as the app is concerned, CW is not really a good app, man. It doesn't have good quality. Everything I watch on the CW just looks old. It looks the production quality. I don't know. It just everything looks old, man. It looks dull. It freezes a lot, and I have great internet service out here where I'm at. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys are weird though, man, because you just want to see, and I bet you a whole lot of you go to church too. Supposed to be so-called followers of Christ and all, but you always want to see the downfall of someone. I guarantee you a whole lot of you, oh, I go to church, or I believe in God, but you're evil as fuck, man. All you like, what does it gain? What do you gain by it? What do you gain by it? I want to see them go out of business. Ha ha ha. LOL. You guys are such kids. It's just like, wow, man. But it is what it is. 4,277 people short. Yeah. WWE, not AEW. AEW is doing their thing. I don't care personally, but somebody got to put you fools in check. That's all I got for you right now. Catch you guys on the next video.